Okay, today's objective is students will be able to evaluate functions in both table and graph forms. So what that means is that you're going to be able to look at this graph and match it with this table, or look at a table and match it with the graph. So you're going to be jumping back and forth between graph and table, table and graph today. So our do now says to fill in the missing values of the table. So first, look at these points. We have A, I'm going to make them nice and dark. I have B, I have C, and I have D. So what I'm going to do is I need to transfer these points to this graph. You see these missing blanks? I need to figure that out. So my X value is 0. So we know that this is my X axis and this is my Y axis. So if I find 0 along X, find the number 0, I'm looking for this graph. So I notice that my point is 0, 0 because that point is right there. So my first point is 0, 0 right here. Now my next point is 1. So now what's annoying about this graph is that it's not exactly at a point. It's somewhere between here and here. So we need to look at this scale. 16. I think it's going up by 8, which is an annoying number. Let's see. Yeah, so it's going up by 8. So this would be 8. This would be 24. This would be 40, 48, and 56. So we're not going to be perfect, but this 1 is somewhere between 0 and 8. Between 1 and 8. It's somewhere here, so let's say this point is, doesn't really matter. We're going to say 3. At 2, this point right here is in between these two, so we'll say 5. At 3, it's at 8. At 4, it's at 16. And at 5, it is at right here, which is 32. So that's our graph. Just by looking at this graph, you should know that this is exponential. So this is an exponential graph because it looks like an L. Describe how you determine the missing values. I basically just looked at the graph. Okay. So today we're just reading tables and reading graphs. So let's look at this pretty blurry graph. Perfect. We are creating a table based on this graph. So if you can't see, I'm sorry it's blurry. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and this the same way. Starts at 1, goes to 10. So let's start. We have 1 point here, 1 point here, 1 point here, 1 point here. So we have our XY table. So we can go, this is a pretty simple graph. This is 1, 1. If you look at this next point, this is 2, 2. And I know other teacher did this, and that might help. If that helps you, you can do that. 3, 3, that's this point. and 4, comma 4. That's that point. Based on this picture, based on this table, this is a linear graph. Why? Because it's in the shape of a line. Also, why? Because I'm just adding 1. Let's look at our other one. So sometimes tables are long or vertical, and sometimes tables are horizontal. It's the same thing. You will see both today. So I don't want you to get thrown off and say, oh, but these are, no, they're the same. Sometimes they are vertical, sometimes they are horizontal. All right, answer the following question based on the graph below. So it says, state the value of x when y is 6. So when my y, remember this is x and this is y. When y is 6, my x value is 0. So x equals 0. So what that question did, just gave us a point. When x is 0, y is 6. Remember, make sure you're putting this in the correct. X is 0, y is 6. Let's do another point. I like this point because I don't have to work with decimals. We'll do that little thing over here. When x is 1, y is 3. Again, make sure you're putting it in the correct box. When x is 1, y is 3. Let's do another nice point. And of course we don't have one. Alright, we're gonna have to do a weird point. Alright, let's do this one. Okay, so when x is 4, I have that. That's x is 4. What is y? When x is 4, y is somewhere between 0 and 1. So let's make that 0.5, 1/2. So when x is 4, y is 1/2. And the last nice point I'm going to do is this one. When x is 7, y is 0. And that's it. Again, this based off of the picture, this is an exponential graph. Why? Because it looks like an L. And that's all you're going to have today. It's pretty short. You're going to be looking at graphs and you're going to match them to tables. You have 4 options and you can pick A, B, or C, D, A, B, C, or D, whichever one matches. Email me if you have any questions, but that is it for today.